Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We got a review of a small press publisher. So this is the first two issues of the Seance Room from Source Point Press. Now I've seen Source Point Press at various conventions and quite a few times, and kind of walked by and checked out their stuff. I've never really spent a lot of time to go and talk to their creators and see what they've got. And decided to correct that at Baltimore Comic-Con. I made it a point to stop by their booth and check out what they've got in store. Specifically talked to Ben Goldsmith, really nice guy. Basically connected with him on Facebook, which was always great, and then found out he was going to be at Baltimore, so wanted to check out specifically what he had, and then he kind of introduced me to the rest of the stuff. So Source Point, nice mix of materials. They got some really great stuff out. I'm going to talk specifically about the Seance Room, and hopefully we're going to be covering them more going down the road. Ben Goldsmith's the writer of this. Keyla Valerio is illustrator. Justin Birch, letterer. Travis McIntire, Joshua Wener is the editors. So how do I describe this? Kind of think that this is very like Twilight Zone meets Tales of the Crypt. The two issues, involve kind of like this twisted house, from what I can tell. And the first one is about a corrupt senator that goes in there, and he's kind of shown that his policies and the utter bullshit that he spews eventually kind of bites him in the butt down the road. It's very like, Scrooge and Ghost of Future Christmases, or whatever the hell it is, showing kind of like what everything rots and what's to come. Really interesting concept, very cool. I really like the spin on it. Obviously, there's a lot of political stuff, senator, stuff like that. I absolutely love. I thought it was a great way of taking this policy position and really spinning things out to like the absurdity level of it. But honestly, the absurdity level is actually not all that absurd. So it was it was cool. Like this, it was a very typical. Not really typical, but like that storyline of learning lessons and kind of seeing what your future will be type of thing. Classic story, basically storyline with a nice modern political spin. First issue is good. Let's show off a little bit of the art of that. I think my only knock on it is that the senator and kind of the person that introduces him to the house look very similar. Not enough distinction between the two of them. I think that's about it. And it's kind of like this painted style, which is cool. I'm trying to think of the other artists that you see this a lot with, and it's like not quite sticking out to me. And there's gorgeous art like this. This kind of introduces you to some of the concepts that you see throughout the series. So first issue I really, really liked. Obviously political, nice spin, all that. Second issue is straight up horror. I mean, all of it's horror, but this one is kind of like that Tales of the Crypt, get to the end, the Crypt Keeper, I fully expected to be laughing at the end because everything didn't quite work out the way expected. Not quite Twilight Zone, I think much more Crypt Keeper, Tales of the Crypt, which is cool. I've never read those comics. Loved the HBO show. Well, I wouldn't say loved the HBO show. I watched the HBO show and was scared shitless of the HBO show when it was out way back in the day, but, I was a young kid and got scared a lot. So this one's about, like, a wife whose husband dies and she wants to deal with his ashes, and I'm not going to spoil it. The art, I think, is improved in the second one, mostly because the characters are much more distinguishable. It's really my only knock about it. I dig the art. It's a little dark. Kind of made me wish it was a little bit brighter. But my only knock at all is that first issue is I think the two characters, the kind of this version of the Crypt Keeper, I don't know what to really describe them as, and the Senator just look too much alike. They both look like Tony Stark. And that's about it as far as like my knock. I actually dig the art. I think it's cool. I mean, basically, if you kind of like that old school Tales of the Crypt, Twilight Zone, horror type stuff, check this series out. I think it's really cool. It's under the radar. I dig it. Like, I went and bought each copy. I'm very happy I did. This is not necessarily stuff I would kind of normally have checked out way back in the day, so I'm glad I forced myself to try something new. Something I'm going to try to do every single convention going forward is just force myself to get stuff that's kind of out of my zone and dive more into trying to explore what else is out there that I wouldn't normally get. So you can go get these now. Honestly, not quite sure where to get these. I don't know if they're in comic shops, to be completely honest. I think they are. No matter what, I'm going to go and get some links there. I'm going to have links to comic shops. You can go ask your comic shop for it. If nothing else, builds a demand for it. We'll have some affiliate links too if we can set up some affiliate links. There's definitely going to be links where you can go purchase this when they're not from the Source Point Press website or comiXology or whatever. We're going to make sure you can be able to get some to check it out. It's well worth. Like, if you're a horror fan, it's well worth checking out. So as I said, got this at Baltimore Comic Con. Glad I paid the price. You can see nice, got like some autograph copies of him. You can go get this now. There's also a Kickstarter going on. It's for like a Seance album, which sounds actually pretty cool. I haven't really haven't listened to that or know anything about that, so I can't really speak of that. But go check it out. If you like the idea of this horror series, you'll probably dig that. Now, if you're into comics, if you are into horror comics, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.